This is a recent news story about the ketogenic diet. There's a couple interesting things about it I want to bring you. The title is Families Kept in the Dark Over Keto Diet's Power to Cause Seizures in Children with Epilepsy as NHS Refuses to Back It. Okay, NHS stands for National Health Service. That is the UK's healthcare system. First thing to notice here is that title sounds pretty manipulative, not fair and balanced. Kept in the dark is trying to get you to believe something is true that they're being kept in the dark with. They're just jumping to that conclusion. Oh, and also, I should mention the source. This is the Daily Mail. A lot of you vegans may be familiar with it. It's a tabloid. They did quite a few articles about Freely the Banana Girl. That kind of tells you a lot. I think they were all negative. So let's get into the story here. 17,000 children being denied treatment. Keto diets can work where drugs fail. I don't disagree with that. They're being denied a potentially life-changing treatment. Keyword to notice, potentially due to lack of funding for experts. See, this is how good I've gotten at this. I've been doing this for 10 years. So without even reading half the paragraph, just the first word, I'm already spotting a red flag. I know how this sentence is going to go. And so saying experts, what, Gary Taubes? Experts have called on the service to pump more cash into what? Into wider use of the ketogenic diet. You might be noticing I haven't really read a lot of this article yet. I guess I read enough to know I want to make a video about it. And that keeps my video fresh. You get fresh reactions. Keto diet is a high-fat, low-carb regimen that has been shown to have seizure rates in almost 40%. Okay, yeah. And this is well known to me. I think it's pretty well known. A ton of people pushing the keto diet. Maybe they're getting funding from the meat industry. It cuts seizure rates in half, and it's only in 40% that it cuts it in half. I think a better solution should be pushed than this, and I'll talk about that as we move on through this article. The diet involves consuming lots of fatty foods, cheese, meat, eggs, nuts, oils, plenty of green vegetables. Okay, right here we introduce a new character, Sara Garland, who is the founder of an epilepsy charity. She said, 60,000 children have epilepsy in the UK, 18,000 drug-resistant forms, thousands can benefit. Garland is giving one-side information about the results of keto diet. Experts have never recommended epileptics use the keto diet for long periods. So what is the use of it? Yep, you may be guessing we've got an anecdote for you. This person has suffered fewer epileptic seizures. The keto diet's use as a therapy for epilepsy dates back 100 years. It's thought the low levels of sugar and high, see, it's a theory, they do not know, alter the excitability of the brain. Yeah, that will cause the brain to go into like hibernation if it's not getting the good fuel. The children on the diet need to be closely monitored to make sure they get the right amount of calories and nutrients so their growth is not affected. Eating plans have to be carefully worked out. Ooh, check this out. And vitamin supplements are often needed. That's funny to us vegans. Garland said, our charity has provided the funding to set up these NHS clinics. When the trusts see the impact they can have, but see the problem, maybe why they don't back it, and I've known this for years, is because the diet's just unhealthy, real unhealthy. It's not wise to stay on that diet. So for these patients, for epileptics, this diet would be just like a drug. It's not really a solution, and it's got negative side effects, and you shouldn't stay on it. Remember what was said in the title of this article. Parents are being kept in the dark? And check this out. We got a professor who's done studies on this diet and epileptics. She said, we would advise families to try this keto diet after 2 drugs have failed, but often it's not mentioned until patients have failed on 4 or 5 treatments. So it is mentioned. Some parents are taking it upon themselves, but we don't recommend this. It can have side effects. Back to Clara, age 16. Her seizures started to fall off after just a couple weeks. Out went all the pastries. Yes, this is what I read before. I remember this now. And I remember what I want to say about this. Pasta, potatoes, and shop bread. Did you notice the lack of scientific scrutiny here? Did you catch it in the reading between the lines, or reading between the foods? Out went the pastry, which is junk food. Why was she still eating junk food at the time if she was desperate to try to fix the seizures? Out went the pasta. Was that with beef? Out went the potatoes. Was that with butter? See, they're focusing on these high-carb foods, but people are eating junky high-carb foods, and they're mixing it with a lot of fat. And carbs and fat clash together, create disruptions in the body. Why weren't these people trying a real healthy diet? Like the one I've been eating for 28 years. It's doable. No junk food. No bad mixing. 15 servings of produce a day. Who does that? Just me and a few people in my community. Not epileptics. I'm not saying that would work. I'm saying, why not try eating ultra healthy? These people went from a junk food diet to keto and saying, oh, look at the improvements. That's unscientific to make that conclusion. There was a comment somewhere under this article who said, the keto diet is not about removing junk food. So Clara was eating junk food and high carbs and fat. Maybe the omitting of that sad diet is what made the difference. The Epilepsy Society warned last night that the diet may not work for everyone. Studies are continuing to investigate how it works and why the treatments are effective for some people and not others. So it might just be a little reckless of NHS to recommend it, then they'd be criticized for that too. Kind of like the position the WHO is in these days. There you go. Check out the comments. Why do you need the NHS to go on a keto diet? It's when you have gatekeepers on information and procedures. Doesn't matter how good the information is or how bad it is if the gatekeepers don't want it. I tried the keto diet, lost 7 kilos, then ended up in the hospital, in the emergency room, gallbladder problems. The doctor said it's a well-known risk with keto diets. Carnivore's even better. These people are all over the place. Look, don't be stupid. Yeah, see, this is why I've cut back on making carnivore commentary reactions. This is interesting. Keto's not an easy solution. It's expensive, for one thing. To do keto properly, it takes education. Check this comment. I've known about it for 30 years. I watched a movie with Meryl Streep, whose character's son had severe epilepsy. I never heard of that movie. The film is called First Do No Harm. Oh, that's interesting. I never heard about it. Maybe it was a made-for-TV movie. Well, if they first want to do no harm, they should first try a super healthy diet. Get the junk food out, pump up the fruits and vegetables. You could first try a carb diet, and maybe that won't work. They might try reducing carbs, adding protein and fat stuff, but keep it healthy and keep them separate. Do they try this? Do you have a comment of your own? Post it below. I read all my comments and answer all questions. If not, just check out my last video about Dr. Keto. Look at what they did to him. And then the video before that, 2 keto guys talking about getting proper nutrition. I made a video about veganism, sort of. Vegan synchronicity. But it didn't do well. Maybe that's why I don't do those videos. And speaking of videos, I made an unusual video a month ago, and I was worried about the reactions that I would get. I wanted to express the joy I've been feeling in the last few months, and I really put myself out there, my personality, which I usually don't do, and I have been surprised to see that all the comments have been positive. Not just on the plus side, people are reacting as if this was a really good video and that they really got a lot out of it and has helped them. And that is what I was going for. I was trying to spread joy, and the comments are still coming in, so I want to tell you all that if you haven't seen that video, and it didn't do that great, if you'd like some more joy in your life, you should check that out. Here it is. It's called High Carb Bang Out Party. And check it out here. It's 2 months ago. It's got 100% thumbs up. That is very unusual. All right, everybody. I'm out for today.